Okay, let's get started, guys. Here we're starting with our ingredients for the paella. So here I have short grain rice. Usually you use a rice called bomba, but I was not able to find it. Fresh garlic, tomatoes, onion, and those are bell pepper. They've been roasted. They call them pimentos. We got paprika. We have azafran, guys. This is very important. You could find it online. You could find it in Spanish supermarket. We have the olive oil. I'm using clam juice. And of course, my Chardonnay wine. Sweet peas. I have here peeled and unpeeled shrimps. Some clams. My lobster. Some calamari squids. And some mussels. Okay, you could use whichever seafood you like. So here I'm making my own broth. I'm using the heads of the shrimps and grounded onion, bell pepper and garlic, and chicken bouillon. So with the tomatoes, we are going to make a cross at the bottom of it because we're going to immerse it in hot water. And we leave it for just a minute. And we remove it. And when you do that technique, it is very easy to remove the skin from the tomatoes, as you can see. This is a very easy process, guys, because we are going to be grating these tomatoes. We are not using tomato sauce. So as you can see, fresh, okay? So here, guys, with a grater, you go ahead and grate your tomatoes. And it all depends the amount of rice you're using, you know, how much tomato you want to add. So now here at the stove, I have a pan. It's called a paella pan. And if you don't have this pan, it's fine. Just use a large skillet. And I'm adding here my shrimps that are not peeled. And a tablespoon of smashed garlic. And we are cooking everything in medium low. And I'm adding my lobster. Again, guys, you do not want to cook your seafood all the way through. It's just a few minutes. Here I'm adding a little bit of sea salt. It's just to make sure that you get some of those juices really out. As you can see, the pan was pretty hot when I put it on there, so the shrimps are cooking pretty quickly. You do not want to cook them all the way through. As soon as you're able to remove them. Look how beautiful those are. And I'm telling you, the smell is so great with that garlic and that olive oil. Ooh, it does wonder to that seafood, I'm telling you. You are really going to enjoy this recipe. I promise you. So we could have restaurant at home with, you know, restaurant dinners without leaving the house. Look at that lobster, how beautiful. Look at those colors, guys. Look at those colors. Okay, again, it's only for a couple minutes. You are going to do this. And you are going to remove your seafood from the pan. Look at all those juices already mixed with your olive oil and garlic. So now I am going to cook a little bit my already peeled shrimps. And you know, again, only a couple of minutes. So now here I added my diced up onion. I diced it very small. You want all those juices to marinate together. Now I'm gonna remove my shrimps. And we are going to start cooking some of the rest of our ingredients. So here I'm adding another tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm stir frying on medium low, guys. You don't want nothing burning, especially your garlic. And now I'm adding the rest of my smashed garlic. Make sure everything distribute and cook together. You want your onions to cook until they're translucent. Now adding my calamari, which also people call it squid. And it's your choice, guys. Instead of calamari, you could use firm fish. It's your choice what type of seafood you want to use for your paella. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and add my azafran. 1 or 2 pinch of it. This azafran is gonna give it a nice flavor, guys. Azafran is pretty important in the paella. And at this point, if you want to add, remove your calamari and add it later on with the rest of your seafood to the rice, you can. I'm gonna leave mine in. Right now, I'm adding some paprika, and I'm gonna do it gradually. It depends the color, because it gives a little bit of flavor, but it's mainly for the color. Your paprika is mainly for the color of it. I'm adding about another tablespoon of the paprika. As you can see, every time I add ingredients, I stir it to make sure all the flavors are dancing together evenly, okay? You want them to dance together, not separate. So I'm cooking this for a couple of minutes. Now remember the tomatoes we grated? Now we're gonna go ahead and add that right now. And it smells so good in this kitchen, guys. I promise you. Look how beautiful that is. Look at those colors already coming alive. And now we are going to add some wine. Again, if you don't like wine, you could not add it to it. But I promise you, this wine gives it that sap. That sap. And I'm adding my clam juice. Nothing but flavors, guys. Just imagine, nothing but flavor. And you definitely want to stir, make sure that all your ingredients are cooking evenly, because as when you add your rice, you cannot stir it anymore. So now I'm adding my sweet peas. And now I'm adding my broth that we cooked. Now, for every cup of rice, I add 1.5 cup of broth. For every cup of rice, I added 1.5 cups of broth. Okay, so it all depends how much rice you cooking. But that would be the ratio. And always have extra broth. Here I diluted a little bit more of paprika with some broth and added to it because I want a little bit more color. So at this point, you want to taste your broth. This is the time where you will add some more seasoning if needed. So I decided I'm gonna add 1 more envelope of chicken bouillon. Look at how beautiful. And I added the rest of my mashed garlic. And here I went ahead and tasted it one more time. And you see how all the ingredients are simmered together. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more of sea salt. Sea salt. And you let this simmer for a couple more minutes before you start adding your rice. The technique to the rice, you could do circular motion, or you could do a double cross, basically 8 lines. Because when you put this rice, you cannot stir it. This is the technique of paella. And you let it simmer. Again, I got it on medium low. As you can see, I just shake the pan a little bit to let the rice even out, but you do not stir it with a spoon. And then when it's simmered down, you taste your rice, your grains. Make sure your rice grains are almost cooked completely before you start adding your seafood. Remember, your seafood is already pretty much cooked for the most part. You just want the seafood to suck in some of that juice of that rice that you have left. So here you lay your seafood down and decorate your rice as you want. So now I'm adding my mussels. My mussels and my clams, I usually face them down, so when they open completely, they could suck in all that juice. Now I'm adding my unpeeled shrimps with the head. And now I'm adding my peeled shrimps. My peeled shrimp, I dig them inside the rice. Look how beautiful, guys. Look how beautiful. You're going to impress somebody, especially, you do this for Valentine's Day. You definitely going to impress someone. So here I'm adding my pimenton strips. Again, I'm here with the spoon. I'm just moving it a little bit, but I'm not stirring the rice, okay? So now when your rice is almost completely done, I add a little bit of wine to it, which I'm telling you, that final touch gives it so much flavor. And I'm adding some parsley flakes. Usually I add fresh parsley, but I run out of my parsley. And then I add a lemon just for decoration, but I do like to have lemon on the side when it's time to eat it, so I could squeeze it on it. It's so delicious. Look at this paella, guys. So your paella is done. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Enjoy this recipe. Do not forget to subscribe, guys, and also press that like button. And also you could pair this up with the sangria recipe that I have down below and enjoy. Have a great evening. Till next time.